Welcome back to my channel. So today's topic is lower back pain. So most of us would have suffered from this issues of lower back pain at least once in lifetime. So let me give you more details of lower back pain today. What exactly is this? What is the reason for this, and much more details on it. So stay tuned and watch the video till the end. So more than 80% of the population are facing this issue of lower back pain, and if you take the US economy alone, 100 to 200 billion dollars per year, okay, it is getting lost because of the issues with this, and people are not going for work because of lower back pain. This is leading to a lot of economic crisis, and basically there will be pain, muscle tension and stiffness, and it might be associated with or without leg pain. So some people will have back pain with leg pain, some will not have with leg pain, they will just have back pain. So at least one episode each one of us would have had in our lifetime. And again, there are certain classifications here. So you can have certain time, the acute ones, which will last for few days and few weeks and it will stop by itself. But certain cases, it will be a chronic type where it might continue for weeks together and it might continue even longer. So coming to the classification, as I told you, there can be specific reasons for it or they can be non-specific reasons. So specific means because of certain reasons, there will be back pain. So under that you have infections, you have osteoporosis, you have rheumatoid arthritis, you have fractures, you have tumors. So these are specific reasons because of which a person might suffer from lower back pain. But certain times the reason is not very clear. So that time it is called as non-specific lower back pain. So there, most of the cases, the back pain which people suffer from will be non-specific reasons, but certain times where there are infections, osteoporosis, fracture, tumor, those kind of situations, they come under specific lower back pain. So under the non-specific, which is happening basically by the pathology, by the diagnosis itself, the doctors will get to know. So the diagnosis of non-specific is not that easy, but diagnosis of specific can be easy because you exactly know the reason by doing the analysis that it might be because of fracture, tumor, infection, like that. So before going into the details of back pain, let me tell you some details about the lower back that we have. So the back, we know that we have the spinal cord here and we have the back system here, and the lower back is mainly associated with this 5 invertebrates, okay, the 5 vertebrae L1 to L5. These are the 5 ones which is here. So this is the actual structure which supports the upper part of your body. So if there are any issues with this part of the body, then definitely it leads to a lot of back pain, okay. And in between this vertebrae, there is something called as invertebral discs. So those act as shock absorbers. So that is the actual reason, or it helps you in the movement of your spine. And along with that, we know that we have ligaments and muscles which helps in the movement of the entire body. So I will give you one more image which gives you much more details on that. So this is what I'm talking about. So this is the vertebrae, and this is the between intervertebral disc which I told you. So these act as shock absorbers, and that will help in the movement of the vertebrae. And in between this vertebrae that we have, the cross section of it, you can just see it is something like this, and within that we have our spinal nerves. So there are different spinal nerves which will be within this hollow region of the vertebrae, and along with that we have ligaments and we have muscles. So these are ligaments are bands of tissues which are there here, and muscles are there. So with this help of ligament and muscles, the entire the spine will move. And there is certain situation called as disc herniation. So this is the issue which might lead to lower back pain again. So here what happens is, in the intervertebral disc, there is some kind of fluid which is called as nucleus pulposus. This fluid will back propagate and it will fall in this region of your nerve, and that will create a lot of pressure to the nerves, because of which the pain will be generated. And that nerve signal and the pain signal will be transmitted from this to the brain, and that's how you get to know that you're suffering from pain. So this is one situation of lower back pain called as the disc herniation, which can lead to issues. So by following certain exercises which doctors recommend, there's a chance that this liquid comes back to its position. So once the liquid comes back to its position, the pressure created by this liquid on the nerves will be gone, and once that is gone, the pain is relieved. So what are the major reasons which can lead to lower back pain? So it can be different reasons. So one can be a disruption of the spine, muscles, discs, nerves. So different parts of the spine that I showed you, there can be some issues with that. So those are called as mechanical issues, and there can be skeletal irregularities also, like you can see here the curvature. So because of the curved system here, the pain can be created. Similarly, there are other situations also which can lead to pain. Incomplete development of the spinal cord also can lead to a lot of pain. Not only that, if you have suffered from some injuries like sprains, like torn ligaments, strains in the tendons or muscles, spasms because of sudden contraction of muscles, all that can lead to pain again. And if you have suffered from injuries like because of sports, because of accidents, even that can lead to a lot of pain. Degenerative problems like osteoarthritis or rheumatoid arthritis, even that can lead to a lot of issues. And even people who are suffering from spondylitis, even they can have this kind of issues. Not only that, there is one more situation called as the spinal stenosis. In this particular situation, what happens is your spinal column, the column which I showed you, that itself starts narrowing. And because of the narrowing of the spinal column, it puts a lot of pressure on those spinal cord and those nerves, because of which a lot of pain will be created. And osteoporosis, this is a picture to show you that. You can see the regular bones. If you do imaging of it, you can see some kind of scanning electron or some kind of imaging technique they have used. So you can see how the bone structure looks like. The porosity of it looks something like this. But if the person is suffering from osteoporosis, that means the bone density is going to decrease. And because the bone density is going to decrease, if you do a microstructure of it, it looks something like this. So it is more hollow. So once it becomes more hollow, the bones becomes more hollow, the chances of pain and other things will be increased. And this is the picture to show you the normal spine, how it looks. This is the early spondylitis, where you can see a lot of inflammation happening in between the vertebrae, and you can see the fusion that can happen later. So this further inflammation will extend, and once that extends, it leads to the fusion of the vertebral disc, because of which there cannot be proper movement happening, and that leads to a lot of pain. Not only the spine related issues, there can be other issues also, like if you're suffering from kidney stones, that also can lead to a lot of back pain issues. If you're having endometriosis, like the building up of uterine tissues outside the uterus, that also leads to this issue. And not only that, pregnancy and tumors also can lead to this problem. This is the imaging to show you the normal vertebrae, how does it look. And this is the situation where a cancerous vertebrae is seen. So you can see some cancerous tissues here. And this also you can see there's a tumor here. So in that way, by doing the imaging, they get to know if the person is suffering from some issues here, because of which the back pain has been initiated. So coming to the risk factors, we know age is one thing which can lead to these issues. Not only that, even the fitness level of the person. If the person is very inactive, that also can lead to a lot of issues. Weight gain because of stress and cortisol increase in the body can increase the weight. And once the weight gain is there, it can put a lot of pressure on your back, which can lead to these issues. Not only that, even genetic issues like spondylitis, which I showed you, that also can lead to issues. And job related factors like lifting heavy objects, pushing, pulling, poor posture, all that can lead to issues. And even a lot of cases I've seen with mental health issues. So people who are suffering from mental health issues, they are having a lot of muscle tension, which can lead to these issues again. Not only that, even smoking, so that is known to restrict the blood flow and oxygen to the discs, which I showed you. So because of the less oxygen supply there, it can lead to degeneration of the tissues there, which can lead to issues. And fatigue and other situations, and physiological factors like depression, stress also can lead to these issues. So the best doctor for this would be orthopedic surgeon. So when should you see a doctor? So if you have this pain and it persists even after some weeks, then you have to you better consult a doctor. And if it is not improving with even rest, then definitely you have to consult a doctor. And if you're having weakness and numbness in the legs, and you have sudden weight loss which is unexplainable, that also leads to some issues, so you have to consult. And if you're having any other bladder problems and it is accompanied with fever, then also you should consult a doctor. So coming to the diagnosis, a complete medical history and physical examination is usually done, and followed by a few blood tests which gives you the signs of inflammation. So inflammatory markers which are there, those levels will be checked, and even imaging techniques will be used. So you can use CT scan, MRI scan, X-rays. So these kind of imaging techniques will be used. CT scan will be usually used for soft tissue structures, whereas for bony structures and other fractures in the bones, those can be understood by MRI or X-rays, and imaging techniques also will be used. There's one more technique which is used called as discography. So here what they do is they inject a dye into the spinal cord. So this is how they do it. You can see here, injecting the dye into the spinal cord, and imaging of that is done. This dye will fluoresce under the signal. So if there are any issues with the intervertebral disc area here, if there are any cracks or any issues here, then the liquid goes inside, and that is how you can see it in the display. So in that way they try to analyze if there are any issues in the spinal cord. Even there is one more system that they use, that is the nerve conduction studies. So this will help in the stimulation of the nerve. So this is how it is done. So they stimulate the nerves and record the electrical signals. So by recording the signals, they can detect if there are any nerve damages. So there will be change in the signal if there are any nerve damages. So based on the change in the signal that is happening, they get to know there are some issues in the body. So how it can be treated? The acute ones which I told you, that can be treated by, with time it gets better. But certain times if it is not getting better, then certain medications might be required. So simple analgesics might be required. Certain times the doctors might suggest even non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs. Certain muscle relaxants, those kind of drugs could be suggested. And topical pain relief creams, gels, patches, sprays, so those kind of things also might be suggested. Heat and ice also might help in easing the pain, and the gentle stretching exercises might be advised by the healthcare professional. Coming to the alternative techniques, acupuncture is one which is suggested, but now it is not recommended by the National Institute of Health and Care Excellence. Apart from that, there is TENS, that is transcutaneous electrical nerve stimulation. So this might help in short time improvement. There is physiotherapy which can be of help, and spinal manipulation and spinal mobilization is also one technique. So this is how to show you that. So this is how by using those techniques this pain can be relieved to some extent. So how can you prevent this back pain issues? So not straining your back too much, and maintaining correct postures. So that is one thing which everyone has to follow, and exercising regularly to keep your muscles strong and flexible. And certain times you can eat nutritious, instead of taking supplements of calcium and other things, you can try to include that in the diet itself, so that can be helpful. And use of ergonomically designed furniture. So this is one more thing which can be of benefit. So having the design furnitures which are fit for your body. So those kind of furnitures could be of help. So comfortable height and other things. So that may be some help, because otherwise, because of these issues, a lot of back pain can be seen. And stretching exercises will be of help. And if you're sitting for very long, you can keep a lower stool below and keep your feet on that stool. So that will help in this situation. And you can try to have low heel shoes, because high heel shoes can lead to a lot of issues to the back. So people having high heel shoes are more prone to this back pain compared to people wearing low heel shoes. And I've told you the issues of smoking which can lead to back pain. So quitting smoking is the best option, and because it leads to a lot of spinal disc degeneration, and the risk of osteoporosis is much higher in people who are smoking. So coming to the takeaway messages, it's better to take breaks in between. Don't sit for too long. So take breaks in between, and you need to sit properly with correct postures. You should not slouch, and you should sit in the proper positions with ergonomically designed furnitures. And when you're lifting something, you have to be very careful. So this is how you're supposed to lift it, and not like this. So you have to lift smart, and you have to, in case you're doing workouts or exercises, it's better to do it in the guidance of the physical trainer, because they will be knowing how exactly you're supposed to lift those weights. So that will be of help, and you can consult orthopedic and spine specialists for better self-care. Thank you for watching. If you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe to my channel, and please press the bell icon for instant notifications, and share this video with maximum people so that it can benefit one and all. Thank you.